Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
Warm greetings to you from wherever you're watching us. I'm Yemi Adebayo.
All right, where we're going to start from this morning. It's all about the Nigeria Women's Professional Football League, where you have on match day 4. Rivers Angels and Edo Queens is the one that most people will be looking forward to. And of course, FC Robo will be at home against Ocean Babes.
All right, so what the men can do, the women can do better. Well, some guys will not agree, but that's what it is. We're talking football. All right, still talking football. Let's travel abroad now. Talk about the most glamorous cup competition. Talking about the UEFA Champions League, and defending champions Real Madrid are on their way to Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, for the final of the Champions League after hedging past Bayern Munich.
Okay, I hope the Champions League is not going to get boring now. Real Madrid in the finals again. All right, we'll see if they're going to face Liverpool or AS Roma.
Yeah. Miracle
may just happen. All right, still on the headlines. This time around is all about the basketball. Steph Curry returns, and since March 23rd, that was the last time he played a basketball game. He returned to court, 27 minutes, and he got 28 points. That's who he is.
Yeah, that's the man. Got the job done, and they're gradually easing him in. And what a potent weapon he is when he's in his element, when he steps to the court. And, the Golden State Warriors, have the luxury of, being able to cope with few injuries because they have a star cast, I must say. It's not like some of those, teams where the main man goes under and the team just capitulates. But it's all good. It's all good. The man is back. It's a big draw. Anytime. A lot of basketball fans would love to see him any day. So I'm happy for him, happy for the Golden State, and see how the playoffs go for them.
Yeah, always an exciting spectacles whenever he's around. Okay, now where do we start from today? We'll start with Wimbledon, what's happening right there. I think after the French Open is going to be the next Grand Slam for 2018. But then the prize money. I mean, I think sometimes you just look at some sports and you wonder why you're here just talking it instead of really doing sports. When we start with the Wimbledon prize money, where a hefty prize sport, there's been a hike in it in the sense that, the last time was 34 million pounds, right? That's what it is right now, more like a 7.6% increment for what we had last year. And these figures actually include 2.25 million pounds each for the men and women. Equal prize money, so take note of that. That's an increase on 2.2 million pounds that Roger Federer and Gabi Muguruza received in 2017.
We all know this equal pay stuff started from the US Open, and a lot of the other big slams thought, well, if the US Open can champion this cause, why not? Let's all give the men and the women. You could argue on both sides, but then again, for the players, it's all good because it's more money for each and every one of them, especially if you're able to go all the way and win. And I think it's good. And it also shows us that they're ready. They're doing a lot of things. The announcements coming in, the preparations, the information that we need to have. And another interesting thing before we go on to listen, whether or not Williams will be seated. That's a very, very interesting topic. A lot of people have been shying away from it. She's ranked 494. Now, will somebody rank 494 be the top seed? We'll wait to see. But it's going to be very interesting. I want to see how those guys handle that.
Yeah. Because it's going to be a whole lot of pressure on them. She took her time to give birth, and now she's coming back. So it's hard to always climb up. What? Serena Williams, she can always do that. Well, let's listen to the Wimbledon Chiefs now, talking about Richard Lewis and also Phil Brook.
Total prize money this year will be £34 million, a healthy increase of 7.6% on 2017. Men's and ladies singles champions will each receive £2.25 million. That is an increase of £50,000 on last year, or 2.3%. And singles prize money for qualifying and for competitors in the first to the fourth rounds will increase by more than 10%.
I think we have been for a number of years. We've talked about the earlier rounds of the championships. We doubled the prize money in challenger events last year, and behind the scenes we've been, I'll use the word lobbying, the fact that if players are not earning sufficient prize money to cover their expenses, if they are not of a sufficient standard to be likely to cover their expenses, if the tournaments aren't of a sufficient standard and profile to be able to pay any prize money that could possibly move them towards being professional, then we think that's entirely wrong. So I think we have been doing quite a bit on that path for several years.
Okay, that's the way it is, the money, and also knowing that some of these young players, or rather those stars who are just coming up, who can't, be at the top level yet, first round, second round, and they're out, the prize money was also increased by 10%, which is really good. So those who want to throw away the game because you don't really have enough money to sponsorship and not from sponsorship and also get to play more tournaments, at least that should be enough. So when you're throwing away game and some money is coming and if you discover that what you're receiving at
can live on the spot,
you can live on it. That's what
I think that's good.
Really a cool one. So
I agree with you 100%, and well, I agree with all the efforts that the guys are putting into it. All right, the guys have to deal with something that is very huge, a ugly monster. Every sport dealing with match fixing now. In tennis, you have what you call the independent review of the integrity of tennis, and those guys, they've been looking at it. There've been cases of match fixing, but in the lower level, not on the level of the elite, the Novaks and Roger Federer. None of them.
So much, so
none of them have been.
That.
You understand? But on the lower, but these guys want it out of tennis, and the guys, the organizers of Wimbledon, are saying, look, we are cooperating with these guys. We're ready, and let's be clear, none of these cases have been mentioned. In relating to Wimbledon, and we have cooperated with them. So let's listen again to Richard Lewis. He's the Chief Executive Officer of the organizers, talking about Wimbledon. We'll listen to him, what he has to say about match fixing and how they are supporting the IRP.
Wimbledon, along with the other 6 stakeholders, have confirmed support for the findings of the IRP. And more importantly, the commitment to implement the recommendations. If you look at our submission, you will see that what we, Wimbledon, said in December 2016 has stood the test of time. And we are pleased with the direction the IRP has taken us for the future with regard to integrity. It is important to emphasise once again, the IRP has not found any evidence of corruption or cover-up amongst the governing bodies. The IRP has, however, identified a serious issue at the lower levels of the game and suggested recommendations to address this. And just as we have been to date, we will play an active role alongside the other 6 stakeholders of tennis to consult on and implement the IRP's recommendations. Just to reiterate, Wimbledon is committed, working with our partners to seizing this opportunity that has been set out by the IRP.
All right, it's all about the integrity of the sports, and the organizers of Wimbledon say, look, we're going to support you guys, and let's be clear on one thing.
No evidence found yet.
No evidence, and we have been cooperating all year long. So, all right, so we move on from there. Let's talk about another version of tennis, not on the lawn, but on the table right now. Let's quickly, Cecilia, let's talk about the 2018 ITTF World Team Championship. We didn't see this coming. We didn't see this coming, but it has come upon us. We lost to Slovakia. And
this is a team we've beaten before.
Well, they now top the group.
Yep.
And I can hold our heads.
Of course.
We've won 2 already. Today we're going to play 2 more. But I think the lads have, I mean, they've shown courage. They've, I don't want to say painted themselves in gold, but at least they've done enough to earn our respect. And hopefully, in the 2 games they're going to play today, they'll do us proud.
Yeah, definitely. In this one, we have Segun Toriola, Aruna Kojo, Lajide Omotayo against the like of Lubomir Fitzgerald, Wan Yang, and Samuel Novata. Wan Yang against Aruna Kojo. Aruna Kojo had a good one. But Segun Toriola in this one, as good as he played, but he lost 3-0 to Fitzgerald. But Aruna Kojo, of course, restored parity, over Wemi Yang, 3-0 bashing. Then it now boils down to Omotayo. We're thinking, okay, maybe he would just get something, but somehow he lost 3-2 to Novota. So, Slovakia? had to win that one. So at the end of the day, what the Nigerian players are saying is that they might just, still have a chance, because Australia, Bulgaria, as you mentioned, they will also be playing them, and hopefully they win those games. And if they can, they'll move up to the championships level. So
the knockout stage of the competition. We are not gloating, but let's say the Egyptians are fighting for their lives right now, and the only thing left for them is to fight to stay in this division. But for Nigeria, if we are able to, win these 2 games, a chance of progressing and moving to the knockout stage.
So let's get reactions from the game.
We knew that they have a very good team, and especially Aruna is a great player. He showed it against Wang. He destroyed him, but we have homogeneous team, and we beat Toriola, who is also very good players. And number 3, Novota beat Omotayo, what is good because he was down 2-1, and in the end he was stronger and he won 3-2. We are second seeded in the second division, so our target is for sure to come to first division and compete against best teams.
Well, I'm a little bit surprised because last time we won against them 3-0, and today we tried to change the strategy because we Prestige last time won against him 3-0. So we tried to make one strategy that I play with Prestige and Aruna play with the Chinese first, and the top player GD we have to see what GD is going to do. But unfortunately we lost. It's a little surprise for us. We still have the chance because we lost just for 1 match now, and we still have Australia and Bulgaria that we have to play, and we have a big chance to qualify to be the second team. I think it's going to be the second because the Australian team, they are not so good. They came with the young one. They are just not really their team. I think they came with their team B. So, and Bulgaria, we never lost against them. I think we have a good chance.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that's our guys there talking, and the Slovakians as well having their say about that one. But Segun Toriola still telling us that a lot of hope, bright spots.
Very bright spots.
If we win the 2 matches, I mean, he basically wrote off the Australians.
Yeah,
I think he shouldn't
be B-team. Bulgaria, we've never lost to them, but then
don't do that.
Don't
do that. It's sports.
If you remember what happened to Barcelona in Rome, you will understand that you don't have to underrate any team until the final whistle. Okay, now let's still talk in table tennis, but this time around it has to do with grassroots sport development. The ASO Table Tennis Championship, well, the 13th edition, it's going to be holding in Abuja. That's where it's been on for a long time. And so the chairman is actually appealing to the Minister of Youth and Sports to support, Nigerian Table Tennis Federation so that they will be able to develop new talent. This is really important because without their support, you're not going to get everything that you need.
It's an event sanctioned by the NTTF. It's in its 13th edition, and the organizers is, pleading for support from the sports ministry. And the talk is the same. This sport can win us laurels and medals. That's what they're saying. All right, let's listen to the organizer talking about Olusegun Ajuwon of the ASO Table Tennis Championship. His plea for support from the sports ministry.
The competition has grown in scope as it is now. It has cadets, boys and girls, junior boys and girls, senior boys and girls, and the veterans. And who knows when it will go international. They say so far so good. These annual competitions have made modest contributions. We have identified and assisted in grooming some junior players that are currently national, African, and Commonwealth champions. For emphasis, let me once again appeal to the sports minister and the other public administrators to stop paying attention to only football to the detriment of the other sports. One Olympic gold medal in football is just one gold medal, just as one gold medal won in weightlifting, table tennis, or swimming.